The Chiefs have just made a highly controversial yet attention-grabbing trade, sending All-Pro guard Joe Thuney to the Chicago Bears in exchange for a future draft pick. Let's dive into this move, share some reactions, and explore how it might shape the Chiefs' future in 2025 and beyond. What's up, buddies? Welcome back. If you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We cover all AFC West news here on this channel. According to Matt Derrick of ChiefsDigest.com, the Chiefs are trading left guard Joe Thuney to the Bears for a 2026 fourth-round draft pick. This move clears $16 million in cap space for Kansas City while adding valuable draft capital. It's a big shift for the team, and it has left fans buzzing. Waking up to the news that one of the best left guards in football is being traded for a future fourth-round pick definitely raises eyebrows. It feels similar to the Aljaria-Sneed trade, a deal that seemed to come out of nowhere and focused on acquiring draft capital for the following year. On the surface, trading a player of Thuney's caliber might seem like a bad move, but there's more to consider here. Joe Thuney, as great as he is now in his 30s. The Chiefs clearly made this decision with the future in mind. Instead of extending Thuney, they opted to clear cap space and look for younger options at the position. Reports suggest that Kingsley Suamataia is a strong candidate to step into the left guard role. Jesse Newell of the Kansas City Star noted that the Chiefs have expressed confidence in Kingsley's potential at guard. The Thuney trade may be a way to create an opportunity for him to start. While this move might be tough for many to accept, it's clear that the Chiefs prioritized financial flexibility. Freeing up $16 million in cap space gives them the ability to address other key positions, such as left tackle. It's a strategic shift, and while it might sting to see a player like Thuney leave, the team is banking on younger talent and long-term planning to keep them competitive. There's a heated debate happening right now about the Chiefs and their approach to positional value. They've been willing to pay premium money to players at positions that traditionally aren't considered premium. For example, the possibility of extending Trey Smith for $20 to $22 million a season, or even more, raises questions. It's a significant investment, especially when you consider the Chiefs just traded away Joe Thuney, signaling their confidence in replacing his production with a younger, cheaper option. If the Chiefs believe they can find solid production at left guard without spending top dollar, why extend Trey Smith at such a high cost? That's a valid argument. On the other hand, Trey Smith is one of those homegrown blue-chip prospects that teams work hard to develop. Letting a player like that walk and trying to replace him in free agency can be risky. If the Chiefs view Smith as their right guard for the future, it makes sense to lock him in, even at a premium cost. What's even more interesting is that this decision comes after the Chiefs lost a Super Bowl due to offensive line struggle. Joe Thuney's ability to step in and play left tackle thanks to his versatility was invaluable. Yet the Chiefs have now decided that his value to the team isn't enough to justify keeping him, despite his key contributions. It's a tough call, especially considering Thuney recently won the Derek Thomas MVP award for his impact on this organization. This move feels similar to when the Chiefs moved on from Tyrann Mathieu. While Mathieu wasn't traded, many fans questioned why the team would part ways with such an impactful player. In Thuney's case, this trade seems to indicate a clear focus on getting younger and cheaper along the offensive line. There's also speculation, though not from reputable sources, that clearing cap space by trading Thuney could be part of a bigger plan to acquire a franchise left tackle. If that's true, then this move might make sense. However, it's not guaranteed that freeing up cap space will lead to landing a long-term solution at left tackle, so there's some hesitation to fully connect the two. At the end of the day, the Chiefs appear to have a plan in place, even if it's not immediately clear to everyone. For now, it's about trusting that process. What do you think of the Chiefs trading Joe Thuney? Let me know in the comments below. I honestly didn't see this coming. I thought the Chiefs would extend Joe Thuney to spread out his contract and manage the cap space more effectively. But I'm not in the front office, and they've clearly made the decision to move on from a player who's nearing the later stages of his career. The Chiefs got the best years out of Thuney, and it seems their mindset now is to find someone else who can contribute at a high level, but in a much more cost-effective way. This move signals that Brett Veach and the Chiefs front office are focused on reshaping the offensive line, but they're doing it with the future in mind. Expecting Thuney to be part of those long-term plans was probably unrealistic. At 32 and turning 33 by the start of the season, Thuney is approaching the tail end of his career. The Chiefs are prioritizing finding younger, cheaper talent, not just for the offensive line, but for the entire roster. If they believe Kingsley Suamataia can step in and provide solid play at left guard, then this move makes sense. Of course, opinions vary. Some still see Kingsley as a potential left tackle, though I'm not convinced. At this point, I just don't think he's the solution for that position. There's a scenario where the Chiefs enter the season with someone like DJ Humphries at left tackle, paired with a rookie they draft early, hoping to develop him. But the reality is this is a tough spot for the Chiefs. There aren't many quality left tackles available in free agency, and needing one now comes at possibly the worst time. Although Brett Veach has a good track record with fourth-round picks, so there's hope he can turn that into something valuable. However, this move only works if the Chiefs find a solid solution at left tackle. Without that, The benefit of clearing cap space and picking up a draft pick might not be enough to offset the loss of a player like Thuney. Now, moving to another story, Rashee Rice recently shared a glimpse of his rehab process. He's been working hard to recover from the knee injury that ended his season back in Week 4 of 2024. Specifically, he suffered an LCL injury, but the footage shows he's making significant progress. Reports indicate his rehab is going well, and he's expected to be fully ready for the start of the 2025 season. However, even if Rice is physically ready, there's still a looming issue. Due to the car crash and fleeing incident during the 2024 offseason, he's likely facing a suspension to start the upcoming season. While it's unclear how many games he might miss, it seems almost certain he won't be available at the beginning of the year. There's also an update regarding his legal trouble, albeit a limited one. His attorney, Texas Senator Royce West, was granted a legislative continuance in one of his 2 civil cases. This continuance, issued in January, allows West to focus on his duties as a state senator before any trial begins. The Texas legislative session runs from January 14th through June 2nd, meaning the civil case cannot proceed until at least 30 days after the session ends. So it will likely be several months before there's any significant development in that case. As for Rice's second civil case, it hasn't been assigned a court date yet, and the status of his criminal case remains unknown. That's about all we know for now. Now, shifting gears to wide receivers, the big news of the day is that Seahawks star DK Metcalf has officially requested a trade, and the team has granted him permission to explore options. This development is surprising, especially since the Seahawks are already planning to release Tyler Lockett. Before this news broke, it was reported that the Chiefs were keeping a close eye on the wide receiver market ahead of free agency. Interestingly, they were also monitoring receivers still under contract, with one of those players being DK Metcalf. Adding him to the roster alongside Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy would be an exciting prospect for Kansas City. Imagining the trio working together would certainly make the offense electric. Acquiring DK, however, would likely require the Chiefs to part with a 3rd-round pick, or something similar. Considering that Deebo Samuel was recently traded for a 5th-round pick, DK's value is higher. He's younger, has less wear and tear, and has consistently produced over 900 receiving yards every year since being drafted. At just 27 years old, he's in his prime, but trading for him would also mean negotiating a long-term extension. It's reasonable to assume that DK would be looking for $30 million or more per year, given the rising salary cap. That figure might price the Chiefs out of the running, but if they could get a deal done for closer to $27 million annually, it could be feasible. The team could offset the cost by taking advantage of having Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy on their rookie contract. While Travis Kelce's cap hit is significant this year, his eventual retirement could open the door to shifting the offensive focus more heavily toward the wide receiver core. Additionally, securing a left tackle in free agency could solidify the offensive line, allowing the Chiefs to draft a running back early and bring in a dynamic talent like DK Metcalf. This combination would make the offense incredibly dangerous, potentially putting up 35 points per game. While this scenario might feel like a bit of a pipe dream, it's certainly worth considering. For those wondering about other wide receiver options, a more realistic target could be someone like Hollywood Brown, a free agent who would come with fewer complications and a smaller price tag. Let me know your thoughts on whether DK Metcalf is a possibility for the Chiefs, or if a different approach might make more sense.